Welcome back. You're still watching Nail Cruise. On Saturday, the Egyptian Armed Forces announced in a press conference that its engineering department had invented devices to diagnose the HIV and hepatitis C, both of them. The new devices can treat hepatitis C at 10% of the cost of other methods with a success rate of more than 90%. We'll be knowing more about the controversial statements that was mentioned about this in this segment. Also, during this week, Egypt's Prime Minister Hazem al-Biblawi announced on state TV Monday that his cabinet submitted its resignation to interim President Adli Mansour. Ibrahim Mehleb has been asked to form Egypt's new government by the interim president. Mehleb, who resigned as a housing minister last Monday, said he would immediately start consultation on the appointment of a new cabinet. Already names are on the table. Changes are expected to be done on a regular basis until he finalizes the list of ministers to be supporting him on this important phase in Egypt's history. Now, we're joined with Amr السعداوى, political analyst. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. It has been a condensed week. There is a lot of news. The resignation raises some concerns. Is it related to the Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi? Is he going to be nominated as a president or not? And also raise concerns about whether now the people are criticizing the previous government. I think they were holding a lot. They were waiting and were expecting a lot of progress. It did not happen, and they're blaming the cabinet for this. So I'd like to have you comment at the beginning on the resignation itself and the timing of the resignation.
Considering the General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he still has a lot of jobs to do within his minister, and he has a lot of things he should be done before he decide to go for the president lecture or not. But I think that most of the politics in the world are watching Egypt right now on what's happening, and they are watching what is the right time that the General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will decide to be going to these lectures. I think he's the only one, he knows when, where, and with what is the best time for him. Considering what is happening right now with the new government, I think that Dr. Ibrahim Mehleb, he's a very good engineer. He's very good to work on the fact. He knows he wake up very early like El-Mushir Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and I think that both of them they wake up before me, before many people in Egypt, and this is wonderful. They work hard. They work very hard. And by choosing Dr. Mehleb, it's something I was expecting that it could be happen from the first time, not before. We can't say that al-Biblawi was bad, but strategy system that they chose Ibrahim Mehleb at this time, and they changed the government that fast. I think that this was a very good trick from the president Adli Mansour and his group, of course. Without Dr. Sam Heggi, he's another thing. So his main group is wonderful people. They know what they are doing, and I think that this trick let the United States get shocked, because they didn't expect that this will happen that fast and suddenly. And even the White House, and this is the question, this is the full question for the United States, for Mr. Obama, for his management. What do you want from Egypt? What do you want exactly from Egypt? You, Germany, Turkey, Qatar, Israel, what do you want from Egypt? You are not going to have anything from us. Anything. And right now I think, let me go on and to be further with something. What is happening in Ukraine is not going to happen in Egypt. You are dreaming, Mr. Obama. You are dreaming.
So you're trying to tie whatever is happening there. What is in your mind? What's in your mind in the tie between Ukraine and Egypt?
Well, they're trying to separate the society there. They're trying to make a new language and a new system, and to punish Putin, and Putin is a very clever person. I doubt that he will not understanding what the United States is trying to do in Ukraine right now, and to change the system and to make the society in Ukraine to be against Putin and against each other. They are having a lot of big problems. They don't have a good economy like us. They don't have the people, the society don't want to work. They're just trying right now to think how they will change their language from Russian language to a new language.
Yes.
So it's something unacceptable, and I think that the Russian army shall not accept this kind of things. If you look at it in Egypt right now, they was trying to do this in Egypt and didn't succeed, but they are doing their best. United States, the CIA, whatever, Germany, whatever, Turkey, and I think that Erdogan shall not be the prime minister for Turkey for maximum 1 month or 2 months. He's going to be in jail like Morsi. That's what I feel.
Yes, if I go back to the resignation itself, why do you think this specific timing where everybody is expecting the presidential elections to be announced, we should be approaching the deadline for the presidential election that was the time limit or the time boundaries that was announced by the interim president Adli Mansour, which is the 18th of April, and then comes in this like last mile or the last 5 or 6 weeks,
yeah,
and comes a cabinet which is also supposed to be another transitional cabinet for Egypt. What does this make, or what's the logic behind this in your opinion?
Well, changing or not changing, as I say, that the changing for El-Biblawi, and this action was from Mr. Adli Mansour, the president of Egypt. It was wonderful, wonderful action, and I think that Dr. Mehleb will do his best to succeed, but there is a very important point we have to talk about, that no one can clap by himself. I think that we should all cooperate, and all what's happening, that most of the employees wants to increase their money and wants to increase their salaries. This is very important, that we have no support right now, money support, but in the very near future I think that Egypt will grow and will be very strong economy. Egypt, it has a lot of chances to be very strong country in the Middle East.
Yes,
and I think we did this.
Definitely it's a good time for reflection also. If we can look at the phase, the Hazem Biblawi's cabinet stayed for almost 8 months in running the country. And they had a lot of challenges at that time, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
But if you looked also at the fortunate tools or resources they had during this 8 months, it was also good resources. They had the backing of the Ministry of Defense, they had the backing of the Ministry of Interior, they didn't have any sort of protests, and the sit-ins were stopped and dispersed by the mid of August. People obeyed the curfews that was placed, and they had expectations. So Egyptians had expectations from the cabinet over this long period of time, while people didn't really have the burden or time to allow the Muslim Brotherhood leadership at that time, the former president and deposed President Mohammed Morsi. 100 days was only the time given to have the people protest against him, because they rejected that the country is not going into a development phase. How would you, compare those two incidents?
Well, first of all, the choice of the Egyptian society, because the Egyptian society are moody, they can change their opinion just like this, and even the ideology and the chemical of the Egyptian society are very, very weird, that no one expects what they are thinking about. They could take an action in a few days and change their mind in a few days. And right now what's happening, I think that the Egyptian society just decide to live. Whatever is the government, whatever is the changing is happening in Egypt, I think that the Egyptian society, most of them, not all of them, decide to go in the right way, that we want to succeed. We don't want to fail again, and I think his bad choice for choosing Morsi or Brotherhood to lead Egypt for 1 year was the biggest mistake in the Egyptians' life, and I think that we are not going to do it again.
Yes, but remains the question would also remain. The 8th month, there was a good period for this cabinet to fix a lot of things. They had a lot of resources, and they had also the backing of Egyptians at this time. So the majority of the people were supporting this government. Why did this government not succeed, and why are people blaming the government today after the resignation rather than before the resignation?
Well, I can say something, that the Egyptian, not everything they like it, and they change their mind in a few seconds, as I told you. But mainly,
do you think the media affected people?
Yeah, of course. So that's why I'm here.
Is now more brave to be speaking about the cabinet that's resigned?
Well, I'm not sure what will happen after 10 minutes in Egypt, but nothing bad will happen. Believe me. And if they say that this minister should be resigned, and it just, you talk much, but you don't work much. We should work and see what they are going to do. Dr. Hazem Belblawi is one of the marvelous economy person, and he's a very good in economy. He did his best.
So is this a good sign or a bad sign? So you had a top economy man, and he understands the economics, and he's been with the country for a long while, and he had the exercise previously, and he did his best, as you said.
Yes,
and this did not work out. What does this tell us? Is it a bad sign or is it a good sign?
No, it's a very good sign that he did his best, and that was his most of that he can do.
Yes.
Well, I hope that we support each other to help Dr. Mahleb, and at the same time, if we support Dr. Mahleb, I think that we are supporting our country. We are not supporting him as a person. No, we are supporting as we love Egypt and we want Egypt to grow. So we'll do our best, of course.
So, in your opinion, what was, if we take the claims of people who are objecting the cabinet and refusing their activities that they have done, in your opinion, if this cabinet failed to achieve what the Egyptians dreamed, what is the reason behind that?
I'm not sure. I can't answer this question because there's a lot of people right now, they mentioned about themselves that they understand politics. They have different ideas. And right now is not the time that we can say, what do you mean by this action? What do you mean by this action? We have to know the resource of the bad action, which is it leads Egypt to a very deep problems. We would like to wake up and just find out the way to start a new Egypt, and we should make a very strong propaganda and a very strong conferences to convince the normal people what is going on, and to be very clear with them and to tell them what is the situation right now, where we are going, what we should do right now to fix most of the problems, which is it's urgently, we should fix it immediately we should fix it. And make these conferences as soon as possible.
Yes. Do you think security would be one of the reasons where Egypt is not able, you know, the bombings, the things that happen, the terrorism that is happening in Egypt, do you think it's derailing the developmental progress?
Well, I heard that there's a bomb today was crashed in Qatar, and the bombing in Iraq and the bombing in most of the country, and there was a lot of problems was happening in the United States the last year, 2013. I think that bombing that you cannot stop it, and you don't know, if you don't have any idea about it, you can't stop it, but it will explode, that's it, and the people will die. So you cannot stop it if you don't have just one information about it. If you don't have this information, I think that it will happen. So nobody, even the CIA, can stop.
But it's very rare to have bombings in Europe. If it exists for the past years, it's very rare to have any bombings in the United States.
Yeah.
And even in the Arab countries, this is very rare. So we wouldn't here be blaming the terrorists, because they are terrorists.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll definitely blame the security apparatus in Egypt.
No one can blame the Egyptian security, because they are doing most of what they can do, but they don't have all the capability to do much more. So that's why the General Abdel Fattah Sisi is doing his best, and he's still in his place to fix this kind of problem and to fix a lot of problems for the army, for the police. And I would like to the army police, I would like that the army police will go and to support the Egyptian police right now.
Yeah,
of course. Yes. To be one hand, I think the power will be much stronger than it is, and they will be very strong to manage most of the problem, because both of them has different strategy, and I think that this strategy, if it becomes once, I think it will be very strong.
That's perfect. You as a political analyst and observer, you also have a lot of optimism towards the future of Egypt usually. How are you looking at the appointment of Ibrahim Mahlib?
I'm sorry?
How are you looking at the appointment of Ibrahim Mahlib as a new Prime Minister for Egypt?
Well, I see that he's very active, like I told you beginning of this program, and I think he's a very active person. He's very active, and I support him very much. I support him, and he did a lot, and his history is very respectable history. I hope that Dr. Hazem al-Biblawi, he didn't listen to him while he was the Prime Minister, and he didn't understand that this one of the marvelous ministers in his ex-government. I think that Dr. Ibrahim, personally, he's very active. He works, he fixes. When there is a problem, he goes and he fixes it on the street with the people, that the people feel that he's one of them. And this is very important.
So what do you, if I take a little bit away from politics, and what do you think of the press conference by the Egyptian Armed Forces announcing that its engineering department has developed this, or invented this device that detects HIV and also hepatitis C, and also cures them with a huge probability and a success rate? There was a lot of controversial statements around this invention, whether it's correct or wrong. I need your opinion about the invention itself and this progress by the Egyptian Armed Forces.
Well, actually, I didn't read a lot about it, and I didn't search for it to give you a straight answer. I'm sorry. And that's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's switch to another topic then.
No way that I'm gonna tell you something that is not exist. I should answer.
We definitely respect that. Let's move on back to your field. And when do you expect Field Marshal Abdel Fattah Sisi to run for presidential election, and is going to happen or not?
As to be as a president of Egypt, or to go as
run for the presidency?
Well, hopefully, the whole people, the most maybe when he asked the Egyptian society to go to support him against tourists, I think the people goes. So there was about 44 million. That's enough for him. I think that's enough. Now there are more people loves Abdel Fattah Sisi personally. I think that this love is not of what he have done. It's from God.
Yes.
When God loves someone, the people love them.
Of course. I'm the Saadawi political analyst. I'd like to thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure to have you with us.
God bless Egypt. God bless Abdel Fattah Sisi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's move on now for a short break, and I'm returning back for more.